I can see. First of all, from here to here, this is all, actually from here all the way down to here is mucosa. Let me show you the four tunics before I start explaining the nuances here. Four tunics coming up. All right, this is good. This is good. This is mucosa from here to here. This thin layer right here is called muscularis mucosa or mucosa muscularis. It's not the muscular layer. This is my muscular layer. The muscular layer that has the circular and the longitudinal layers. But this is a local muscle layer underneath the mucosa. Matter of fact, it's part of the mucosa. So we call it mucosa muscularis. So the mucosa is from here to here. Then this is submucosa. And then this is muscularis externa. And they call it muscularis externa to differentiate it from muscularis mucosa. And I can't see my serosa in this slide. So let me find a slide where I can see my serosa. That's liver right there. All right, now, perfect. This is the type of slide I'm going to show you. And I'm not going to ask you if it came from the small intestine, the large intestine, or stomach. I'm not. I want you to know the four tunics. So I know it says stomach, small intestine, large intestine. I know it says that. But all I want you to know is the four tunics. I don't care which slide I show. Although with the stomach, I can actually see three muscle layers. But this is the mucosa. This is the simple columnar epithelium right here, lining the folds and has finger-like projections called villi coming off the folds. So this is a big fold. And here's villi coming off the fold. And then the cells have microvilli on the villi. I show you that in lecture. So this is mucosa. This is the muscularis mucosa, that thin layer of muscles. That's part of the mucosa. First tunic, mucosa. Second tunic, second tunic, submucosa, right here. Submucosa, second tunic. Third tunic, muscularis externa. This is the circular layer. This is the longitudinal layer. Oh, you guys probably wonder how that could possibly be longitudinal and it looks like it's making a circle. Because you cut this like, this is your intestine. All right? My fingers are my longitudinal layer running up and down my intestine. You cut this like this. You're looking at the ends of my fingers of my longitudinal layer. You're looking at the ends of the fingers of the longitudinal layer. Understand? Now, the circular layer underneath that is like my hand wrapping around the intestine, and you cut it like this. So what you see is when you cut it like this, you see my fibers running like this, around in a circle. That's why these look reversed. They're not. This is the longitudinal layer coming out of the board. This longitudinal layer is coming out of the board at you. This circular layer is running around this thing, and this thing was cut like this. So the circular layer is running around it. Make sense? So this is the circular layer, this is the longitudinal layer, and here's the serosa right here. From here to here is serosa. Serosa, muscularis externa, submucosa, mucosa. Pretty darn easy, right? Let's see what else I have to show you. That's the big parts right there. Let me show you lamina propria. When I look at one of these folds or villi here, I have my simple columnar epithelium sticking out. Well, what's this stuff between my epithelial and my submucosa? Lamina propria. It's connective tissue. It's lamina propria. So all my folds here are supported by all this connective tissue between my epithelial cells and my submucosa. All right. When I get to a stomach, I'll show you a gastric pit. Actually, there's a gastric pit right there. This must be stomach. In the stomach, I have these really deep pits. They come way down deep in. Realize some of these I'm cutting off the other direction. But this is a gastric pit. And I have mucus neck cells here that make mucus. And I have parietal and chief cells in here making hydrochloric acid and pepsinogen. I talk about all that in the lecture. But this is a gastric pit. This is part of another gastric pit. I'm looking for a really good one, but the way this is cut, I don't see a great one. This is actually the best one. This is the best one on this slide. That's a gastric pit.
Is the hydrochloric acid and pepsinogen considered bile?
No, bile is not secreted until you get to the duodenum. Hydrochloric acid is made in the stomach and pepsinogen is made in the stomach.
So it's just stomach acid then?
Yeah, pepsinogen is an enzyme that is converted to pepsin and digests proteins. Hydrochloric acid is an acid.
Okay.
It turns pepsinogen into pepsin acid. All right, that's a salivary gland. You don't have to know the salivary gland on here. Nope, you don't. Another salivary gland. That's another salivary gland. These are different. Oh, they say they're both sublingual. Okay, salivary. This is taste buds. These are taste buds on the tongue. You don't have to know them. I just thought it was cool. All right, I already showed you that. There's nothing new to show you there. I want to get to the small intestine and show you some glands. These are mucus-producing cells. Some people call them goblet cells. They produce mucus, secrete mucus in your intestinal lining to protect it. Those clear ones are mucus-producing cells. Goblet cells. All right, these are glands. This is a gland. Now it has a duct coming out to my lumen. I can't see the duct. Don't ask me where it is. I can't see it. But here's my mucosa. Here's my mucosa right here. Here's my muscularis mucosa, this thin layer of muscles. Here's my submucosa right here. All of this is submucosa. Here's my muscularis externa. What's this? Doesn't look like muscle. Doesn't really look like the rest of the submucosa. What is it? It's a gland. A lot of these glands are so deep in that they're in the submucosa layer, and they have a duct going out to the mucosa. And they secrete their contents out there. So that's a gland.
So what gland, do you know what gland it is?
I can't tell from
Is
looking
it
at
an
it.
endocrine gland or
No, it's an exocrine gland. Secreting, yeah, it's an exocrine gland.
within the intestine?
Yep, within the intestine. Yeah. I'm trying to see what I've missed so far. So I do the goblets. Oh, lacteals. Lacteal. Let me show you a lacteal.
Did you do the
You guys aren't
goblet
gonna like it.
cells?
It ain't gonna look like nothing to you.
That
That's liver. That's liver. Liver.
Oh.
Glands. Blow that up for me. That'd be perfect. That's stomach gland. We're going in a circle, aren't we? Let me get a big small intestine.
No.
Well, cross off lacteals.
Cross right off.
I saw one, but you ain't gonna think it's anything. I might as well just show you what I saw, and you won't think it's anything. You'll be glad you crossed it off. That little thread right there is actually a lacteal. What happens is these lacteals run up into my villi, and when I absorb fats, they go into the lymph first. Fats go into the lymph before they go into the blood. All the rest of the stuff goes into the blood. There's a lacteal right there. It doesn't look like anything, so I'm not gonna mess with it. This is a nice picture, though. Did I already talk to this picture or no?
Yeah.
Good. That's a good picture. And the rest. Oh, let me see if I can find Taenia coli for you, and then I'll be done. Can't see enough of the longitudinal muscle to see, so I can't see enough of it. That's it for that. And I think, folks, yeah, not gonna find T. coli either. Nope.
Hmm.
Nope.
I like goblet cells.
That's
What
it.
is it?
You can cross off lacteal and T. coli. The rest of the stuff I found for you. Any questions about that stuff? Pretty easy, right? As far as histology goes, this is one of the easier histological sections.